Right, so we are back to the action. We do apologise. There was a technical glitch with the software downstairs, but we are back to the action right now as we are playing Deuce to 7 triple draw. Matty Gin and Tonic in the commentary booth here with Josh Monk, a.k.a. Monkey, calling the action out here in this $1,500 10-game mixture, or also known as the main event. This is day 2 for the qualifiers only. We came back today with 6 players. We are down to 5 out of 37 entries. As you can see, Party Tricks there in the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's Eugene Portland, also known as Party Tricks or Trixie. We do apologise for any of the technical glitches, but unfortunately the software downstairs that's bringing you this action cut off. But I believe that we are back to the action here, Matty Gin, as we realised we spoke off camera there for a good part of 3 or 4 minutes, calling the action to nobody who could hear us.
Sure, I'm pretty sure it was the most riveting commentary of the session too. No one's heard it.
Great shout.
We've seen Jazz all in here, 245, good enough to run with. Tim doesn't have a lot of options here. He's drawing very rough. So when a lot of the cards that you can draw, make your hand worse. In this case, the 7 is no good for him because it makes it straight. We don't have a lot of options. We can only really get a 2 or a 3 here.
Pardon me if you guys heard that down the stream there. I tried to move the microphone away. And have a look at Jazz here. He's made a 76. Yeah, sure. Why not? A 76, 5-4 deuce, which I believe was the hand that I outdrew you with. As a matter of fact, almost identical. I think I had the 3 deuce as opposed to the 4 deuce, but nonetheless made the 76 against Matty Gin when he stood pat with the 8 smooth. Busted him out of a tournament back there, I believe in October or November of last year in the final series here at Play Live.
So, I think you should remind me just a few more times.
I'll tell you what, Matty, if you're in the commentary box, man, and I've beaten you in one hand or in a tournament, man, you're going to cop it with me in the box whilst I can get it in the stream. We do have a lot of followers. Actually, as a matter of fact, we do have, and I mentioned this to you just before, on YouTube, we had 124 people watching this on YouTube, and I believe we had a similar or slightly less count on Facebook Live. So obviously there's a lot of people tuning in to listen to me and you commentate the final of this main event mixed game, brought to you by Mixed Games Academy, Shannon Vanderberg, the Prince of Poker himself. We are on to Deuce to 7 triple draw. Down to 5 players. They are all in the money. I'm Joshua Monk, a.k.a. Monkey, calling the action with Matty Gin, also known as Gin and Tonic, G&T, or MG. No matter what you call him, everybody knows him. Big starlight in the poker scene. Taken down some events, well, done quite well recently, Matty. I've seen you on a couple of winners posters recently in other poker operations.
Yeah, had a good tail end of the year and good start to this year, which was good. Bit disappointing to not carry that on into spend some time in Asia and the Bahamas at the tail end of the year. So it would have been good to carry it on through there. But yeah, still some results, which is always good for business. So
there you go. It's a good thing, poker, man. It travels all around the world, I should say. So it does give you that opportunity, like you said, to go to the Bahamas, parts of Asia, obviously over to Vegas for the World Series of Poker and so on and so forth. So you need to be obviously a very elite poker player to make money on the tour, but at least opens up a bit of the world to you, Matty Gin.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's obviously plenty of opportunities to play poker in Australia. Obviously, Play Live Melbourne being one of those premium venues for that, but there's obviously some other opportunities across the globe. The Asian Poker Tour are doing some really big things in that sort of space across the Asian market.
Yeah, good shout. I believe there is mixed game tournaments, I believe, part of the APT, the Asian Poker Tour, not the Australian Poker Tour, but the Asian Poker Tour. So if you're interested in the mixed game stuff, I believe that they do have some of them on their schedule.
Every day. It's a relentless mixed game schedule.
Right, well, there you go. So maybe that's a bit of information for Mega Shin Lee, who's joined us back in the YouTube chat. We do apologise for software glitches we had approximately 5 to 10 minutes ago, but now we are back up and streaming. This is Deuce to 7 triple draw, not single draw, so you get 3 pulls at it to try and make the best hand you can in this particular game, which is Deuce 3, 4, 5, 7.
One thing to note when you're playing triple draw, there shouldn't be a lot of calling
Yep.
in the game. So if you're looking to enter the pot and there's been a raise before you, we tend to want to raise. Obviously, Tim's all in here. Has absolutely picked up an 8-7-5, which I do not think we will be trying to draw to improve to. So over to Sonic on the draw 2 to see if he's made any improvement to his 8-6-3.
It's kind of pretty funny here because I'd imagine that Sonic's going to keep the 9, not knowing obviously that he's drawing dead. If he decides to just draw the 1 here, pitch the queen away and try and hit a deuce 4-5-7.
This is the issue with playing hands out of position.
Okay, hold on.
Just don't really know where you're sitting in the scheme of things. You don't know if your opponent is pat behind you, how strong their hand is.
Sonic discarding 2, the queen and the 9 of hearts, I believe, as he picks up a pair of 10s for an absolute shocking draw there, I believe, on the second draw. I think there's only one more draw to go. Is that correct? I believe so.
Yeah, I believe this is last draw.
We might get those hand summary breakdown stuff tech working shortly, which will go above the players' cards. We do call the action pretty good, you and I, here in the commentary box, so don't really need the hand summation, but if we can get that graphic going, that would be ideal for the people at home who might have just logged in and missed what happened on previous streets. Right, okay, so it looks like he's drawn 10s just quietly, pitched 2 10s, and obviously he's come into an 86, it looks like, and beaten Tim Masters, who's patted his 87. Tim Masters will be eliminated now in 5th position.
Wow.
And he can't believe his 87's gone in flames. So obviously Sonic there has picked up an 86 or better.
He's picked up those golden rings.
Yeah. No doubts about it. Great shout from the big man himself. Matty Gin calling the action with Josh Monk here in the commentary booth. He's absolutely spiked an 86 there, obviously, at the last pull when he threw 2 10s away and he's gone gin, which is quite funny considering Matty Gin is in the commentary with me and busted Masters out in 5th.
Extremely unlucky for Tim. He requested to see the top card off the deck to see if he had broken his hand. He's never breaking his hand anyway.
Good shout.
But, I know you're a fan of seeing what could have been.
Unfortunately, there is no rabbit holing here in tournament poker, so Brian doing the right thing and not showing him what could have been. Obviously, it's part of TDA rules that we don't rabbit hunt tournament cards, but nonetheless, he was busted there in 5th and picking up $4,310 for his efforts, so nearly 3x his buy-in to this particular tournament, which is better than you, Matty Gin. He picked up negative $1,500 for this particular event. You were one of the 37 entries into this event. No cash in this one, but
absolutely negative 1,500. Just playing. I was on a table with Cale Burns and
see you later,
Mr. Ragazzini, and just absolutely playing no limit hold'em pots against these guys in the mixed game streets is not where I want to be. But
no.
Cale absolutely made the buried full house against me in stud versus my straight. So when I had some blockers to his full house, so that absolutely got me naturally.
So the limits have now gone up here to 80K, 160K.
Just a note. Obviously, Jazz is on the shorter stack side. In these limit tournaments, you're often able to navigate to some of the split pot games, and they tend to be a really good opportunity to stay in the tournament, to try and accumulate some chips. Obviously, you can try and pick up half the pot, and you're actually often increasing your stack drastically with even picking up half the pot, let alone the times you do scoop as well. So I would expect to see Jazz to play fairly conservatively until we get to those games. Unless we have a really strong draw here in Deuce to 7, we might elect to run with it.
Good shout there by Matty Gin in the comments. Good chat there. Well said. Let's get back to the action here. We are playing Deuce to 7 triple draw, as you can see from the event ribbon at the bottom of your screen. are dealing with a couple of little technical glitches, so we do apologise if there's some misrepresentation on your screen in terms of hold cards or draw cards or catching up to the action. But we will nonetheless call the action on the screen to the best of our ability, Matty Gin, as we get round to Jason, who's in the small blind here with the 9, 7, 6 and a pair of threes. So he could potentially go a couple of ways with this particular hand, but I'd imagine he's probably going to keep the 9 and draw 1 and try and hit a 97 if he can. But get to that in just a second. There's Liam Jew, who picks up a bit of a monster here and puts in a raise to 160. Jason's going to call. Liam Jehu with a 6-4-3 double deuce. So he's got a few outs also to improve his hand. Unfortunately, he can also make a straight if the 5 comes into his hand, which I almost always pick up when I'm drawing 1 to this particular hand, and I go on a little bit of tilt. And he does pick up the 5, but you can't make it up. I swear to God, you can't make that up. He does pick up the 5 and make a straight. Now, obviously, a straight in this particular game is horrific. Straight, no good, but he's now going to obviously pitch the 6, I would imagine.
Now we get to pitch the 6 and open up some options here. A little bit surprised to see Jason draw to the 9 here with so many draws. I think we tend to want to keep the 9 in later draws other than first draw here. Especially when you've got to play the hand out of position. Small blind versus big blind. Obviously, the small blind is the out of position player. Be interested to see him keep firing here. He is on a 7 draw now, so has improved his hand from a 2 draw to a 1 draw.
The Baccarat players at home, Liam, I should be saying, is looking for a 3-side 7 or 8 here. A 9 will also get it done. 10 no good, obviously. So he's got 7, 8 or 9 to take this one away from Jason if Jason decides. And he does peel in the 9. Good shout by myself just quietly there. He picks up the 9 smooth and now has Jason in a world of hurt. Let's see what Liam decides to do here. He is facing a bet of 160K, which is the big bet in this particular game. I'd imagine just flooding here with maybe the 9 smooth is like the right way to play this hand.
Yeah, I think our hand isn't good enough to raise. It's definitely too good to fold, especially if we're thinking that our opponent could have some bluffs in their range and those sorts of things. They could be padding some 10s and stuff and that sort of thing. So I think hand's too good to fold, not good enough to raise. So leaves us with one option. So I expect us to just be putting in the call here.
And I'd imagine it's just a call and then I'd imagine just a pat. None of them going to go for extra cards here. I'd imagine Liam's just going to pat his 9, as he should. Jason patting out of the small blind. Back round to Liam Jew, who has the best of it at the moment with the 9 smooth, as they like to call it. He's going to pat it as well.
It's a bit of a tough spot with a 9 here. You're obviously losing to any other combination of 8s and 7s that our opponent has. It's really unfortunate when we have such a smooth draw that if we couldn't actually draw to an improvement in our own hand, when our opponent has an 8 and we could have drawn to improve, it's a bit disheartening, but he's sniffed this one out perfectly and picked up the pot.
Check, obviously, there at the river. So the 97 goes down in flames against Liam Jew, who's 95, as we do get a comment in on YouTube, I should say. Timmy Dixon, what was the buy-in for this game and payouts? We're hopefully going to be bringing the payouts into YouTube live chat and that of Facebook Live with the payouts. I do have them in front of me, so I'll get to them in just a moment. But the buy-in for this particular game was $1,500. It's a 10-game mix. The main event, actually, for the Mixed Game Academy, which started yesterday, and Matty Gin, who's in the commentary box with me, played in this particular event. 37 entries, 4 left. And I do actually have the payouts for you guys, so just bear with me as I bring them up on my phone. So now that we are down to 4 players, the 4th place finisher will get $5,270 for their efforts. 3rd place will get $7,190. 2nd place is $10,540. And the winner of this event will pick up $16,775, provided there is no deal making. If there is a deal made in this particular event, we will give you that information as soon as it comes to hand. As we get back to the action here, we are playing deuce to 7, triple draw, so for those people who like to squeeze up cards like yours truly. Talking about complainers, I know we will get back to that, Matty. We spoke about that before with Jazz being a little bit of a complainer, but obviously a seasoned veteran in mixed game stuff. Shout outs to Jason and Simon Shaheen, who in order prioritise their poker by coming in to complain first, pill cards second, and then hopefully make the money third in that particular order. We have had a bit of a laugh about that in the past, and I would tend to agree with those priorities. Come in, complain, squeeze some cards, and hopefully win some money, as Jihu draws 2 smooth to keeping his deuce 3-4 of spades. He does pick up the 7, which is a monster card, as Sonic picks up a pair of 8s to go with his 87 draw at the moment.
Obviously, we see Liam now drawing to a flush, which is not particularly where we want to be. It's not the desired outcome. It does remove some of the combinations of cards that make our hand. But our hand's obviously too strong to just throw the 7 of spades now, because we're scared of a flush. We just roll the dice and hope we pick up the two-side red and hope for the best. Have you seen the trophy for the main event? The absolute wrestling belt that is
absolutely love it. Shannon has put out the old WWE or WWF, if you go all the way back to the start when I was a kid. He's got the World Championship belt out there. It's an absolute ripschnorder of a trophy. I don't know if it's something that you keep, or I'm not 100. Is it a keep trophy, or is it something that they just put the name to?
I believe it's a perpetual. I mean, I do have one in my garage.
Oh, it must be nice. There it is. I know you're alluding to that for some reason. Well played.
No, I do believe it's a perpetual, but I believe the panels got full the time that I won it, and I just decided that it was coming home with me. So just some of the perks of being the mixed games unpaid ambassador, as Shannon refers to me. I decided to take some form of payment in taking home the perpetual trophy. So
gotta love that. That's too funny. Liam obviously squeezing up his draw card here. I don't know if he's put it over the RFID reader or if we're slightly behind in bringing you what card it is that he picked up, but it looks like he's just called. So I don't think he's improved on his hand. And if he has, we'll find out. But it looks like he's taking 1 away, so he's going to throw 1 away at a small blind. Picks up a 10.
Sure.
And he might be catching up to the action, but I'm not 100% sure what's going on. It looks like Sonic's going to pat. Now, I believe that... So here we go. So this is a perfect example of Sonic with the 8-8-7-5 deuce. And maybe you can explain a little bit of the reason for why Sonic has decided to pat back here on the second draw.
Yeah.
Matty Gin.
Yeah, obviously we were discussing earlier in the commentary snowing or bluffing and what candidates are good hands for us to do that with. Any hands that contain 7s and 8s and pairing those are really strong. It means that it's even less likely that our opponent has a strong hand. It means that they're more likely to have a 9 or a 10 like Liam has in this instance. Sonic has put out the bet as the only available option remaining, and Liam has almost beaten him into the pot with the 10-7. So obviously not going well here. But obviously if Liam bricks his draw, any pair, anything probably higher than a 10, this line from Sonic is probably getting through as we see Liam extend the chip lead.
It was short, no more than, I don't know, maybe like an hour ago, give or take.
Just absolutely rampaged.
And he has caught a series of cards and has also outplayed a lot of his opponents recently to get that massive sized chip lead that he has at the moment. I think he's got maybe close to 50% or maybe 60% of the chips in play, I believe. Matty Gin. How many chips do you start with in this game? I didn't quite see what the starting stack was.
125k.
Right, okay.
The start stack.
What's he got now? 2.7 mil, give or take?
Lots of discs.
Yeah. Good shout there from Matty Gin. He's joining me, Josh Monk, in the commentary. We are live on a 20-minute delay at Play Live Melbourne, 129 York Street, bringing you the conclusion of the $1,500 main event brought to you by Shannon Vandenberg of Mixed Games Academy in conjunction with Play Live Melbourne.
I will say I was a Melbourne local when Play Live launched, and to see how far the room has come. I haven't been here since making the transition up to Brisbane, but seeing the room in its seem fully packed out, seeing how black and elegant it is now.
Yep.
It's really sort of positioned itself as a real premium offering in the Australian poker scene. It's really good to see.
Agreed. And I think it's very aesthetically pleasing too when you come into Play Live. I kind of like that sort of black with the white with the red look. As Liam Jehu picks up another monster here. He's got a 9-7 dealt. He's going to stand pat here and make Jason try to outdraw at him. Jason obviously going to check under the gun back round to Liam. He's going to obviously put in a bet here with the Pat 97 dealt. The action goes back round to Jason. It looks like he's going to call. Those blue chips are 5K chips. The orange chips are 25K, just in case you're wondering. And Jason's going to throw one away. So can Liam Jehu hold here with his 97 dealt? Or is Jason going to outdraw him? We don't quite have Jason's cards yet on the reader. Jason obviously checking it. Liam's going to just keep barreling his 97, which I believe he's supposed to do here. Matty Gin, as he gives me the nod of approval in the commentary booth.
Yeah, when our opponent's still drawing, we want to make the assumption that they're still continuing to draw. These are spots where if I'm in Jason's position, I'm sometimes looking to check raise and force my opponent to break. If I pick up like a 10-7, I might sort of try to force the break and play the hand as a convertible, like in this position here.
Just have a look at this from Jason. He is drawing smooth. He did pitch the jack of diamonds here. This is the final draw. So he needs to pick up a 7, 8, or a 9 to take this one away from Liam Jehu. So 3-side 7, 8, or 4-side 9 will get the job done as he squeezes it up, hopefully not too hard, because he can damage these RFID cards, which are quite expensive, as most people would know, somewhere in the vicinity of 120 to 140 bucks a pop. And he's under the gun first to act before it goes back around to Liam, who's got the 97 smooth. He's going to check his option. Liam's going to check back with the 97. I'm not sure what Jason's shown here, but I believe the pot is being shipped over to Liam, who picks up another one. Absolutely DJ Khaled style is another one. As he picks up that pot there, another monster just quietly. Jason down to 2.7 bigs. Obviously, it's half of that as they're calculating the bigs based on the small blind limit at the moment, as we've alluded to a few times. So Jason quite short stacked at the moment, and Liam Jehu just absolutely on a rampage here at the feature and final table of the $1,500 main event. We hope everybody at home is enjoying the commentary and enjoying the feed that we're bringing to you, the broadcast, I should say, as Liam goes up to 3.215 million. So he's got a 3-1 chip lead, or 4-1 almost, on the field, I should say, as there's a couple of short stacks out there. Jason and Jazz absolutely working with crumbs at the moment, Matty Gin.
Yeah, I think probably like we were sort of alluding to earlier, potentially waiting for some of these split pot games to make a bit of a move.
Yep.
Yeah, both Jazz and Jason are incredibly short here, pending those chip stacks are correct. Obviously, we saw Jason slide in a very large amount of small denomination chips before, so I would expect that he is actually quite short.
Unfortunately, we can't see Jazz's chips from this particular angle, or this one for that matter, almost on cue as they've changed now the cameras over. I believe now We are playing Omaha 8 or better.
I think this will be, see Jazz pick up the queen. 2-4. Would have expected that would be enough for us to go with from the button.
I would tend to agree here as Jason decides to call out of the big blind to Liam Juhu's raise. He's going to apply maximum pressure, playing power poker. Shout out to Adam Burke, playing power poker with his very dominant chip lead at the moment. So it's ace queen 7-3 versus the ace double 10-5, and the flop comes down ace 6-5. Liam Juhu obviously flopping a flush draw and two pairs, top and bottom, and Jason with a made 7 for the low for the time being. So most likely going to chop this bad boy up, almost certainly. Liam Juhu obviously in front at the moment, but very likely this is going to be a chop pot. Here comes the turn down and dirty, brings in a 7 of diamonds. So Liam now picking up a flush on the turn, but it does give two pairs to the big man Jason. We're going to chop this bad boy up with a live 3, obviously, with Jason, and Liam with a live 5. So it's... No, actually, Liam doesn't have a low, pardon me. Do apologise. There, it does not make a low. So Jason's going to pick up the low side there with a 7-6-5-3 ace. And Liam Juhu's going to pick up the high hand with the flush on the turn. That particular run out of the 7 of diamonds, 9 of diamonds. Now, I'll be honest with you, I do love Omaha 8 or better. It is my game choice. I do prefer to play it pot limit with 5 cards because I'm a bit more of a degen, but you put me into a fixed limit high-low game with any stakes in play, and you'll most likely see me playing as Jimmy, the golfer, coming into screen at the moment, just there drinking his water bottle. Jimmy's a very good mixed game player who I believe won a seat into the 10K. I believe he actually won a seat.
He was one of the satellite winners for that event.
Yeah, no doubts about that. So he got the job done there in the Satty to get into the 10K. He's come in there. He's also a very avid golfer, decent handicap. I think he's sub 5 or sub 6 as a golfer. So he knows how to strike a tightless golf ball around the course.
I'm horrendous. I'm so bad. I want to get into it, but
just so bad.
The
you don't
learning curve to get to the point of enjoyment just feels too hard. But I'm at the stage where I'll hit like 2 good shots for the round that keep me just enough that there's a glimmer of hope in there that I could one day enjoy a walk around the golf course. But for the time being, it's just frustration.
So Jazz here under the gun has raised all in with the ace queen 7-4, and Liam's decided to call him off in the big blind and with the chip lead, with a couple of jacks and an 8-2. So Liam looking for a high board to go along with these jacks.
Interesting to see Jazz go with this hand over the previous hand. Potentially a bit of ICM at play with both Jason and Jazz both being short.
So this is almost certainly being chopped up as Jazz got a check mark next to his name. He cannot lose the low as the flop comes down 8-6-3. The jack of diamonds on the river is going to give Liam a set of jacks at the river that was actually outdrawn on the turn. Sure. Jazz had actually spiked the queen of hearts on the turn to take that one away, and then Liam all of a sudden finding a jack at the river. He also did have that flush draw, so he did have a few outs there, but spikes the jack, and that one's going to be chop it up buttercup. As we get back to the action here, I might just leave you, if that's okay, Matty Gin, for 2 minutes or so. I just need to get a glass of water, so I'll be right back with you shortly.
I expect to see Liam here applying a lot of pressure to both Jazz and Jason, especially if we're seeing Jazz play quite tight around this pay jump, which is a few buy-ins, so it's obviously not no money. Jason obviously coming off the back of a second place in the 10K horse, so seeing him go back-to-back FTs in both of the big buy-in events so far is It's obviously really good to see. As I did mention earlier, very, very difficult player to play against. Obviously, quite new to the games, but obviously knows his way around them. But does play a little bit unconventionally in some spots, which does make things a little bit tough at times, just to range him. Haven't seen much from Sonic lately, so this double suited combo, the Ace 476, seeing him raise it up under the gun. I just don't think this is good enough in 08 for Jason to go with on the button here. We're really looking for hands that don't contain eights, nines, and eights and nines, really. They're obviously not very good in 08, not really good enough for the low or the high usually.
Cheers for that. Matty Gin just needed to duck out there and wet the gullet to be able to call the rest of the action with you this afternoon. For those people who are just tuning in, you're watching the main event day 2, qualifiers only from yesterday's day 1. It's a 10-game mix. 10 games. I'll get to in a second as we get back to the action here just really quickly, because Jazz could be all in on this board. Most certainly now going to get it all in. Jazz here, who picks up a flush draw and second best pair with the best kicker.
Off to the races.
Sonic's actually got the nut flush draw. So hold on a second. So I didn't quite catch that originally. So Sonic here with the nut flush draw. Jazz, his flush draw is dead. But he does have the best hand at the moment with a pair of queens with the ace kicker. Needs to fade a club. No low possible. So a club will get this done for Sonic, and Jazz will be hitting the showers as the 9 comes in, giving Jazz 2 pairs on the turn. Here comes the river down and dirty. Brings in the King of Hearts. What a perfect run out just quietly for Jazz, who survives that all in. And now up to 390k, or roughly 2 bigs. I know it does say there that he has 3.9 bigs, but as you can see with the software downstairs, that is taking into account the small blind, not the big blind. So Jazz absolutely surviving it there. Now Jason is the short stack at the table with 195k to his name. Talking about some games coming up today, I know we have said it. It started roughly 21 minutes ago, local time here in Melbourne. The dealer's choice, 25 plus games there, right up Matty Gin's alley. It's a $500 buy in 20-minute levels, 25 plus games that you can choose from. It is a dealer's choice game. Matty Gin will be jumping into that, I'd imagine, at the conclusion of this final table, if not earlier, depending on how long this table is going to take to reach a winner. Matty, are you looking forward to the dealer's choice today at 2?
Very excited. Definitely excited to peel some cards for sure. I think just seeing the games that people pick, I always find like super interesting. Like, are they try, do you think you pick a game that you're good at, or do you pick games that people are bad at? Like, which?
Yeah, I mean, I think you choose the games that you're best at, and obviously, the more elite players that play No Limit Hold'em and Pot Limit Omaha, as Jason here, by the way, has gone all in under the gun with the Ace Jack double 5. I think most people choose the games that they're strongest in, as opposed to what people are worse at, I think. And usually the more elite poker players choose the big bet games where they can play for stacks, like Deuce to 7 single draw and No Limit Hold'em, Pot Limit Omaha and the alike. As it goes round to Sonic here, we haven't quite got his cards yet, but he's going to play for stacks against Jason here. So it's Ace Jack double 5 versus the Queen 10 8-3. Jason all in at risk here, as you can see, with the triangle next to his name, indicating he's all in. Sonic obviously looking for a queens and 10s, and hopefully no low for that matter, because Jason does have his low at the moment covered with the Ace 5. Off to a flop we go. And he just flops the straight. Yeah, sure. No low possibilities. Backdoor hearts for Jason, and that's it. The 10 of clubs on the turn gives Jason a draw to the straight with a king, and he spikes it. If you don't mind, what a run out that is. Absolutely brutal. Sonic actually flops the joint there at the rag end with a 10-8. It's come 10 on the turn, king at the river. And Jason is basically drawing almost stone motherless on that particular board with backdoor hearts working for him. Obviously, he can hit a 5 to make a full house if the board repeats. But forget about that. The 10 of clubs on the turn and then the king of diamonds at the river to bring in Jason with Broadway. You can't make that up. Jason's still got chips now in play after Sonic had flopped him near dead there, Matty Gin.
Wow. Definitely a tough one for Sonic to lose. He is still battling. Like he is second in chips, but he really doesn't want to chip up these short stacks anymore. So definitely a tough one getting it in. Well, looking extremely good after the flop and to secure that pay jump and not being able to convert.
As David Miles comes into the chat on Facebook Live, known in the industry as Milo, superstar of a bloke. Did meet him actually for the first time up in Queensland near Eaton's Hill, the Empire series that was up there, run by him and Aidan Glenn. Do a pretty good series up there. So if you're in the Brisbane area, in and around that Eaton's Hill area, I'm not actually sure what that's called. Is there like a suburb there? I'm not quite sure.
Wantima?
Right, sure.
Wantima
okay, there we go.
Is the name of the golf club. So I'm assuming that's the suburb, but don't quote me. Couldn't tell
Sure.
you.
But the big man, David Miles, Milo, have a look at this. Liam Juhu in No Limit Hold'em, now we have changed to No Limit Hold'em, has picked up Ace King Hearts and Jazz here picking up the Ace King off. So a couple of premiums just quietly being dealt out pre-flop. Sonic's going to fold the King 10. Jason's going to put the Daniel Negreanu 10-7 into the bin. They're going to be playing here. So Liam Juhu needs to pick up hearts here to bust Jazz out, but more than likely they're going to chop this pot up.
Oliver Gill has confirmed that I'm completely wrong.
Okay. So Oliver Gill coming in, clutch in Facebook Live's chat there. As the flop comes down, 7 Queen 10, both shooting for the gut shot, but obviously they both have. There's the gut shot on the turn. Yep, sure, why not? And we're going to chop it up Buttercup here as they both make broad weight with the Ace King, with the Jack of Diamonds on the turn. As Oliver Gill comes in and says 2 flush draws for Jazz, so mathematical favourite, obviously. You could go for the diamonds and the clubs, and Liam obviously just shooting for the hearts. Special comments there from Oliver Gill in the chat on Facebook Live. We are on a 20-minute delay here. We are down to the final 4 players in this $1,500 main event. This is day number 2. Did start yesterday. Qualifiers only for today. We came back with 6 players that were all in the money. Started today at 12 o'clock local. A slight delay, obviously, for the broadcast. And we are live on Facebook Live and on YouTube. If you're enjoying our commentary, enjoying the broadcast, we'd love to see you make some comments in the chat so we can comment back to you. I'm here with my co-pilot, partner in crime, Matty Gin, also known as Matty Gin and Tonic, G&T or MG. It's a pleasure to have you join me this afternoon, Matty Gin. You've been excellent in the commentary, and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to call the action for the viewers at home.
Yeah, definitely love being here. Obviously, some of the first mixed games streamed, or the first mixed games streamed in the country. So definitely good to get behind the microphone and see the production quality that Matty Marshall and the Play Live team have put together, and being able to get it up and running for the mixed games has been really good to see.
Good shout out there as Jazz is going to fold under the gun. It looks like it's been folded all the way round to the blinds. Not sure if we caught that action. There could have been a raise by Sonic on the button, but unfortunately, slight delay in the graphics there, so we're not quite sure what happened during that particular hand. Nick Fern's joining us in the YouTube chat. Nicky Fern's been in the chat quite a lot, so appreciate having you back there, Nick. And Oliver Gill says the suburb is Brendale for one teamer. It's next to Eaton's Hill, which is also a suburb, so maybe a point for you, point for me, give or take.
Yeah, chop the pot.
Chop the pot, the high and the low.
Yeah, chop it up.
high going to Brendale and low going to Eaton's Hill. I think we were both relatively close there.
I think I got scooped. I think I said one team and was a suburb, but it isn't. So just take the whole thing, man. So there was a in the first day that I played here, I got to say that I didn't win half a pot, not a single.
You got quartered.
I did for the whole tournament. I didn't win half a pot.
Right, so either scooped or 1/4.
No, I didn't win any pots at all. But just straight didn't win.
Fair enough.
Not even half a pot.
UK Matt says hi. Here in the chat there on Facebook Live. Shout outs to UK Matt, the big man himself. I haven't seen him for a good part of a year, so I'm looking forward to having a frosty with him at some point. Hopefully we can do that in the upcoming week. Preferably not on Monday if possible, as I'll be watching the Super Bowl with the Shaheens and then doing a podcast thereafter, which could be a laugh and a half for those people who listen to the You Can't Make It Up podcast with me and Adam Burke, a.k.a. Burkey. We try to release an episode every Monday. We are 2 weeks behind, unfortunately, due to the Play Live Melbourne Millions schedule and this Mixed Game Academy. But if you'd like and subscribe to that page, we are on YouTube and on Spotify. We bring some guests in and also talk about some funny You Can't Make It Up stories. Simply stories that we've got along the last 40 years that we've been alive, in conjunction with that of our special guests that are coming in to talk about stories so unbelievable you simply can't make them up. So we turned it into a podcast, and maybe, Matty Jim, we might be able to get you in there somewhere down the track if we get a chance for you to come back to Melbourne and sit in the podcast room with me and do this all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to come down for a chat.
As Nikki Fern says, love your work, just quietly. I appreciate that and all the support we get in the chat. Hopefully you're enjoying. There's another comment comes in on Facebook Live that I did giggle at. There's a little bit of a side story to that. I'll get to that in a second. We are playing No Limit Hold'em here. We're going to Liam Jehu, who picks up the natural 9. If you play Baccarat, he's going to jam it on the button with the King 9 off. It's going to go fold from Jazz in the small blind and Sonic there also. Now, I believe we found the origin of the Sonic because of his surname, Hedger. So I think it's just a thing that the Aussies like to do. They find Hedger, turn it into Hedge, turn it into Sonic the Hedgehog, and then back down to Sonic. So
it's really only the natural progression. I'm surprised that we didn't get it straight off the rip.
I totally agree. As Liam Jehu, as you can see, miles out in front. Have a look at the chip lead here just quietly. 3.5 million almost, 3.455, and everybody else less than 500K to their stack. Basically, it's a Liam Jehu fest here. And I guarantee you, he won't be making any deals on this featured table. So they'll be playing for all the chockies here, I can imagine, with the payouts being as follows, just in case you missed that action earlier. $16,775 for first, $10,540 for second. Third will pick up $7,190, and fourth place finisher will pick up $5,270. 37 entries into this event at a $1,500 price point. Minus, obviously, the hospitality package. 4 remaining. Brian Yuen, one of the most infamous TDs out there. Absolute crusher. He's been here for the Play Live Melbourne Millions series and now here for Shannon during his series being played in conjunction here at Play Live Melbourne. Is in the hot seat dealing the cards. 4-way action as Liam Jehu. Have a look at that stack there. Wouldn't you love to have that stack in the final table against the 3 short ones? And he's absolutely primed to take this one down, Matty. I don't say it's a foregone conclusion at this point, but to be fair, he does have, I believe, something like 75% of the chips in play, maybe something like that, give or take. So he's in absolutely prime. He's in the mayor's chair, I should say, to take this one down.
Just being able to, especially with these other stacks being so close together, being able to apply so much pressure, it's very hard to see him not, I don't want to speak out of turn, but seeing him not be able to convert from here. But I've seen some crazier things in the limit streets. Like it's just one of those things where you can just go on a massive run.
Yeah.
Um,
Great shout.
One of my first introductions to mixed games was seeing Mr. Wahesh against Grant Levy heads up. Wahesh had 30-1, I reckon, heads up, and Grant has just proceeded to go on and win the tournament.
Steamroll him, yeah.
And it was one of the most outrageous, and I was only just being introduced to the games, but it was still one of the most outrageous things that I've ever seen.
Is he still complaining about that now, or?
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
He brings it up all the time, and because I was there to witness it, he gets confirmation that it did actually happen.
I might actually try and get him to tell that story on the You Can't Make It Up podcast next Monday. I'm sure that he will be able to tell us a little bit more about that story. As we change the game now, we are playing stud high, not high load, just stud high. As you can see from the event ribbon at the bottom of your screen, we are playing stud high. As Maggie Ruby Borg comes in and says, maybe we can have a drink with UK Matt at Degani's. It's his absolute go-to spot. Every single time we go out for a drink, for some reason, we end up at Degani's every single time. It's a 100% hit ratio there. Don't worry about it. It's always on his side of town, which is miles away from where I live. As Jazz here decides to, has to actually bring it in, I should say, with the 3 of diamonds. He's got 3 to a flush at the moment. Stud high. Jason's going to make the complete. Well, it looks like maybe he has raised to 200, I should say. Jazz completed, I should say, pardon me, to 100. And Jason putting in the raise to 200. Jazz is going to try and run his hand here. So Jazz all in. He's got 953 of diamonds working for him. So he needs to pick up a couple of diamonds to make a flush, as Jason has put him all in with the Ace King 5. 2 hearts in the hole.
Crazy to see that Jazz is, if you look at the cards at the moment, is actually a favourite. Slight lead over the Ace King 5. Having the 3 to a suit. The equities do run extremely close in stud.
So it looks like a deuce there for Jason. Deuce of spades. Jazz picks up the 8. No help really to him outside of completing 3 to a straight. Right, so Ace High still out in the lead at the moment. Jazz now needs to find, he finds a 3 of clubs on 6th Street from, I can hear. And it looks like the King of clubs, I believe, on 6th Street for Jason. We do apologise. And Jazz somehow finding the 8 on 7th Street to make 2 pairs, 8s and 3s. So Jazz is going to survive and take some money away from Jason, who's left with absolute cheesels out here. It looks like he's left with 10K or 0.2 of a big. It's actually 0.1 of a. No, it's even less than that, to be fair. He's left with absolutely nothing here. Quite a funny turn of events, as you can imagine. I think we have been told from the studio that there might be a break coming up relatively soon, as we have gone hammer and tong here in the commentary box for roughly 2 hours and a bit. And also the players have been playing for roughly 2 hours too. Should be able to get some information from the studio when we find out what has transpired. Just to let everybody know, there is still 4 players left here. There is a slight discrepancy on the screen with the chip counts. But as you can see, there are still 4 players there. Obviously, not 3 that you can see. And it looks like, just quietly, it looks like Jason's actually got more chips than the 10K that was suggested from the previous hand. Obviously, he's got more than 10K, as he's almost got a stack of blues in his hand, and I believe it looks like 1 orange chip or maybe 2 to the left of his blue stack. So don't pay too much attention to the stacks in play at the moment, as there appears to be a little bit of a glitch with the stacks. So do apologise there, the viewers at home who might think that Jason has less than what he's currently got, as it looks like Jason's going to move all in here. So don't really pay too much attention to the chip stacks at the moment, with the exception of Liam Juhu, who obviously has a monster chip stack in front of him. You can see it on screen, and also in the top left-hand corner, about 3.4 or 3.5 million in chips. Jazz is going to raise, and these two are going to battle it out again. This time, Jason all in. So Jazz has got ace, queen, jack versus the ace, king, 5, 2 spades in the hand for Jason. Obviously, because it is going to showdown, they're just going to turn their down cards up as opposed to slow rolling their opponent. And let's see another run out. Can Jason survive this time or not? I think it was the 6 of spades for Jazz and the 4 of diamonds for Jason. 6 of hearts for Jazz, who now picks up a pair. Deuce of spades, no help to Jason.
4 of spades.
4 of spades, so it looks like Jazz has actually spiked just the pair of 6s. And have a look at Jason's board here, who just picks up ace, king, 10 and doesn't have any pair whatsoever. So that's Jason hitting the showers in 4th position for a payout of $5,270 there. Matty Gin, pretty good showing from Jason, who has made so many feature tables it's actually kind of sickening, but good on Jason Wang there, who gets the handshake from the big man, the Prince of Poker himself, Shannon Vandenberg. Matty Gin.
Yeah, we see Jazz managed to find the ladder on with the short stack. Actually chipped up to being reasonably healthy comparatively, moving to second in chips, pending those stacks are accurate. So nurtured that stack really well. As I sort of said, the short stacks seem to have like a lot more survivability in the mixed game streets than they do in no limit hold'em. So yeah, definitely a terrific run from Jason. I'm sure we'll see him in the 3K tomorrow.
Oh, no doubts about it. He'll probably be the first person registered as we get GGs in the chat from MSP on Facebook Live. Now, like the studio has alluded to us here in the Combox, we might be going to a break relatively soon. I'm not sure how long that break is. If you can let us know down in the studio so we can let the viewers know when to come back to the feed, that would be great, roughly speaking. As we are playing stud high, like we have alluded to in the last few hands. Jazz surviving an all-in and then busting the same guy who was trying to put him out of the tournament in 4th by picking up a pair of 6s in the last hand in stud. And believe it or not, it was good enough to get the job done as Jason whiffed a pair out of the 7 cards that were dealt to him. So we're down to 3 players. This is main event 10-game mix, brought to you by Shannon Vandenberg of the Mixed Game Academy, Matty Gin. And what a guy Shannon Vandenberg is, just quietly.
He's one of the best. One of the best in the business and one of the best outside of the business. He just a great all-round guy. So definitely a great series he's put on here. Finding a home at Play Live. He's been traveling his tour, so to speak, around the country, and has put on a number of events here at Play Live Melbourne, and they seem to only be growing in popularity. So there seems to be a bit of a demand for the mixed games in the Melbourne market. So yeah, just really good to see the ongoing growth.
Totally agree with that. Shannon, one of the most notable gentlemen in the game of poker, especially in the mixed game stuff, like you alluded to just before. Jazz up to 15 bigs with 740K. Again, those bigs are being drawn from the small blind, so please don't pay too much attention there. It's actually half of that amount, so 7.5 bigs, and obviously 4 1/4 bigs for Sonic. Just a little technical glitch that we had streaming and how it gets imported into the software downstairs. It doesn't take into consideration the big blind, unfortunately. So there's a little technical issue there, but we'll hopefully be ironing that out for the next series. Just getting back to Shannon as well. If you like the mixed game stuff, I strongly suggest that you like and subscribe to his Facebook page, which is Mixed Games Academy. It's got a picture of that sort of gold encrusted spade. And that will keep you abreast of everything that he has got going on, not only here at Play Live, but around Australia. He does tour, like you said before. Does a few events up in Brisbane I know about. I believe he might do some in Sydney. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe that's slightly accurate.
I think there was a Sydney series that was scheduled that unfortunately had to be postponed, but I think we'd probably see something in the Sydney space, hopefully sometime this year.
So as MSP comes in with a pretty funny comment, does Liam has Liam got a permit for the wall that he is building? He is building a stack on stack on stack wall, as you can see from seat 1.
Nothing more satisfying than building a big chip stack. I'm a fan of the big triangle, personally.
Sure.
Just monstrous triangle.
Can't say I've ever been in a tournament where I've had the privilege of having a monster WSOP stack in front of me. Hopefully maybe later on this afternoon, if not tomorrow, I can produce that. But knowing me and how I like to play the mixed games, will most certainly be nowhere near the final table or nowhere near that big chip stack. So, and when I get it, I usually outplay myself and bust, as Liam picks up a pretty big hand. We are playing Raz now, so idea of Raz is to make the lowest 5-card combination you can, given the cards in your hole and the 4 cards up on your personalised board. Starts off with a 3-4-5. And Jazz going to come along here with the 8-6 deuce. So very competitive hands, both of them, as 4th Street comes down now.
King of hearts. Jack of spades.
As Oliver Gill says, one thing
Bet
is more satisfying is knocking down somebody else's wall, which is relatively true. A lot of pests out there in the poker community like coming over and knocking over somebody's tower just for some giggles. As Liam Jehu picks up the 10 of hearts on the turn, Jazz has got the Jack of spades. Matty Gin and Tonic, maybe you can call out the rest of the streets here. We'll go half-half,
spades.
if you don't mind.
Obviously, in Raz, we often call the small bet street and then make a decision on 5th. So as we can see here, Jazz has picked up probably enough equity to run with, as we picked up the ace of spades on the small bet and seeing Liam pick up a bad hand.
This could be a good pot for Jazz, just quietly up against the chip leader of Liam Jehu. If Liam can not improve on his hand and Jazz can.
Clubs. 8 of clubs.
So 8 of clubs pairing Jazz on 6th Street.
Jazz all in.
Liam, as you can see, behind at the moment
195.
to Jazz's... Oh, pardon me. He's not behind because he did pair on 6th Street there. So Jazz, I believe, is now all in. Liam Jehu's actually out in front with the Jack 10, 5-4-3. Decides to put it in the bin. Looking at Jazz's board showing 6 Jack, Ace 8. So Jazz obviously just outplaying Liam Jehu there, but obviously Liam can't really call with his board showing 3-10 King Jack. Pretty obvious bet from Jazz there, I'd imagine. And he's up to 1.2 mil all of a sudden. So Liam taking a small hit to his chip lead. And Jazz working that short stack. It was actually all in no more than 4 hands ago. Matty Gin and Tonic against Jason. As we are going to a short break now. I'm not sure how long this break is going to be. So maybe if the guys down in the commentary box can let us know how long this break is going to be. That would be ideal if you can pop that up on the screen for us just to let the people know at home. You guys at home, you are watching on a 20-minute delay the main event of the...
It'll be fine. It's not worth the tackle, bro. Unless they're going to do it really quickly, but it's fine.
So welcome back to Play Live Melbourne at 129 York Street, South Melbourne. This is the Mixed Game Academy brought to you by Shannon Vanderberg, the big man himself, the Prince of Poker, bringing you a $1,500 10-game main event. Qualifiers only for today, 30-minute levels, started today at midday. We've just approached 3 p.m. And we've got a change in commentary here, as Matty Ginn said at the break. He wants to jump into that dealer's choice that he alluded to multiple times just before he went to break. So he's going to jump in and play the 25 game. So if you want to go down there and bust Matty Ginn, he's down there playing the 25 game. But I've got the privilege now of introducing a new guest in the commentary box with me, Eugene, also known as Party Tricks or Trixie. Party Tricks, how are you, boss?
Monkey, it's great to be here, man. I'm very pleased to be calling the action with you.
Good, man. I hope you're not too, anxious or anything about calling the action. It's basically what we do when we sit around the table between me and yourself, looking at cards and calling the action and complaining. And basically that's what we're trying to do, Eugene.
That's it, man. And what are we playing here, Monkey? Raz?
Looks like we're playing Raz here. You'll be able to tell from whoever the bring-in is, but at the bottom at the event ticker, also known as the event ribbon at the bottom of the screen, it will show which game we are playing. If there is a issue there, I'll bring you up to date as to which game we are playing. They are putting the payouts into YouTube and to Facebook Live. They will also be adding it into the event ribbon at the bottom of the screen shortly. I will just down there with the studio crew putting that together for the people at home who are watching this broadcast. I believe the game now has changed to stud high-low, 8 or better, as you can see from the event ticker at the bottom. So bring in from Sonic here, showing the ace-jack in the hole with the deuce of hearts. Liam's going to fold the king-9 queen. And to Jazz. Good friend of yours, Jazz, Eugene.
Very good friend. Good friend in poker, and that's where I met him. He's got the split sevens here. So we call it split sevens because you can see that the sevens is split. If it was in the hole, 2 sevens in the hole would be hidden. That's so in stud, we typically refer as split sevens. It's a little bit more obvious. If it's in the hole, it's a little bit more disguised.
Well played.
So he's going to complete, and he's taking this one down.
Now, just quickly, I'm going to pick your brain here a little bit, Party Tricks. So if you've got sevens in the hole and like an ace showing, what do we call that?
Yeah, that's what we call sevens in the hole.
Okay, sevens in the hole. And if you've got, like, for example, like Liam Dew, who had earlier today, he had pocket fives with the 5 showing up. What do you like to call that? So 5-5 in the hole with a 5.
Oh, we're just starting rolled up. It's even less common than aces. It's a magical hand, and I did see the run out, which is very unfortunate for Liam, unfortunately. It's less common than aces. You're not going to see that very often, and usually get it in the wrong game. You usually get to the rolled up kings in Raz.
No doubts about it. As you alluded to before, Liam started with rolled up 5s, got outdrawn. I believe it might have been from Jason, who picked up that final 6, I believe.
He did. He was drawn to a low and he spiked a 6 and took the whole pot. But, that's the game.
There's a little bit of a colour up of Liam Juhu's chip stack at this final and feature table. Down to 3 players, 37 entries at a $1,500 buy-in. It's a 10-game main event here, brought to you by Mixed Game Academy in conjunction with Play Live Melbourne at 129 York Street, South Melbourne. Now, Party Tricks, have you enjoyed your time playing the mixed games and been down here to Play Live a few times? Seen your face, and we're good mates, so enjoying the action they're putting on down here with Shannon Vanderberg and the boys from Play Live?
Mate, this is a dream come true, honestly, to see this in Melbourne, what the Prince has done with the Mixed Games Academy and what the boys are doing here at Play Live. Who would have thought,
Yeah.
And in 9 months, and then, guys, in a week, look at the quality of this stream that we're putting up. Mixed games, stud on this,
Yeah, great shout there by Party Tricks there in the commentary booth. This is, I think, the 12th time that the studio downstairs has ever streamed anything before, as the Matty Marshall came in from Newcastle to help set that up. And then the boys down here have put together this package for you that you see up on your screen. So big shout outs and big W's in the chat for the guys downstairs who are bringing you all of this telecast.
So it looks like in the action here, Monkey, don't want to cut you off, but
no, go ahead,
Jazz
please.
has got a deuce with 5-4 in the hole. He's got 3 to a wheel and stud high low. A pretty good starting hand. Now, I think important to realise, guys, when you are playing short-handed and not much chips in play, the high does go up in value because you don't want to be just drawing to a low. If you miss your low, you're not going to have much of a high hand. There's always a high. There's not always a low. Okay, so although 2-4-5 for a wheel draw is very good, the ace is just a killer card in stud high low. As you can see, Sonic's gone in for the complete with the ace showing. He's got a good card in the hole and a banana, as we call it, with the ace deuce queen. The queen's not really helping his hand. However, it does help for the high.
Well said.
So-
Comments from the super coach right here in the box with me. That is Party Tricks, the melodic tones of your voice coming in there, nice and deep. You must be drinking Valvoline as a kid to get that type of voice going for you, or be smoking Marlboro Reds as the 10 of diamonds peels off on 4th Street for Sonic, and Jazz picks up a 5. So now he's got a pair of 5s to go along with his wheel draw and a low draw for that matter. Oliver Gill coming in on Facebook Live saying what Prince has built is more impressive than anything that has happened in Australian poker in a long, long time. You know what? I'll give you 5 stars for that because I totally agree. He has built an amazing schedule and an amazing set of tournament series across Australia. Not to mention he did get up that 10K a couple of days ago, Party Tricks, which is just absolutely outrageous. I haven't seen a 10K event held anywhere in the country for probably a good part of...
Mate, I don't know if we've ever had a 10K mixed in Australia. Definitely, I don't, from my recollection, not in Melbourne.
No,
Maybe in Sydney.
Yeah, maybe in Sydney, but I mean, I think we might have been, or at least MGA in conjunction with PlayLife have put on a first ever 10K horse tournament, which was completed, I should say, or concluded a few days ago with the big man James Ops taking that bad boy down from Adelaide, who now lives in Melbourne. As we get back to the action here, maybe Party Tricks, you can call this for the people at home.
Yeah, Liam's in the bringing here, looks like, with the 5-6-8. Pretty strong hand in stud high low. He's got 3 to a straight, 3 to a low. Jazz is letting his hand go. Sonic's going to fold as well. So, it looks like Liam's came in for the open complete. Now, typically most new players, I would advise just bring it in. But you're going to see a different dynamic here with the final table, ICM considerations and so on, being people who are shorter and so on. You might see some more open completes. It can make sense.
Now,
So,
I can confirm that from 5Bet Bluff there in the YouTube chat, hope they have air conditioning so the Eugene doesn't get too angry. Lol. We do have air conditioning pumping here in the commentary box upstairs. So Eugene wearing his stock standard hoodie with his black cap on that he wears almost like a traditional look of Party Tricks. But yeah, no, we're all good here in the commentary box. Thank you very much for that comment, 5Bet Bluff.
quite comfortable up here. if can't be down there in the event, I did have 2 cracks at it. So I made a 6 low and put all my chips in. It was, of course, deuce to 7 single draw, so 6 low not being the greatest hand in that. What do you reckon, Monkey? 6 low?
Any chance?
6
No
5
chance.
4 3 2.
Forget about it.
That's a straight, guys. That's no good in deuce to 7 single draw. It was a good bluff though.
It's great bluff.
The guy took about half a second before he
Snapped it off?
Snapped it off.
Anyway, getting back to the action here, Sonic on the short stack here at this table is not going to compete with that particular hand.
We've had a game change, obviously, right?
Just have a quick look. Can't see the game placard on the table at the moment, I believe.
How's that shout out by Ollie Gill? Sounds like Bruce Buffer. MGA's Bruce Buffer. Funny this, I actually played poker with Bruce Buffer.
So have I, actually.
Yeah.
Sat right next to him during when he was
Crown,
down
yeah.
for the UFC, was down here.
Absolute gentleman of the game.
Yeah, agreed. That was the time when Holly Holm actually beat, what's her name? Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, he was down. I actually sat right next to him, took a photo with him, sent it over to my old man. He thought I might have been over in Vegas. I said, nah, man, we're just in Crown Poker Room there, playing some cards, and Bruce Buffer was down there. The It's Time guy, obviously brother to the voice of the boxing, Michael Buffer, with the Let's Get Ready to Rumble. As we get back to the action here, as it looks like we have changed games.
We have definitely changed games. We're playing a 5-card game. It's got to be deuce to 7 triple or deuce to 7 single draw.
It is deuce to 7 single draw. That's the next game in the rotation after stud 8 or better.
So there we are. We got Dominic Parker down in the what do you call it?
Studio?
In the studio, man, punching in all the stuff. He's a one-man band. It's all new with the new games. So shout out to Dominic. He's doing a great job. He's doing the best he can with the team. So don't forget, guys, this has only been up a couple days for the mix. So
They're doing a phenomenal job downstairs. It is not very easy to do what they do downstairs, especially with mixed, and working on a newly updated piece of software that Matty Marshall put together for the boys downstairs before he left to go back to Newcastle. So brand new software that they're working with in conjunction with putting this broadcast together for you guys at home or work or wherever you're watching it from your device. As Oliver Gill says, he wants me to do maybe the Bruce Buffer, or maybe throw it over to you, Party Tricks, to do it with your deeper voice, that live from the Play Live room in South Melbourne. It's time, that type of stuff.
Yeah, we are live. Coming to you live from Play Live Melbourne, down on York Street.
129 York Street, South Melbourne. If you want to get some tournament poker into you over this weekend, we do have a few more games coming up tonight and tomorrow, obviously, before the conclusion of this Mixed Game Academy tournament series. As we get back to the action here, Jazz.
He's going to limp in. He's got a 2-draw.
He does have a 2-draw. As you can see, he has picked up 7-5-3, working towards that wheel that he wants to try to achieve with the Ace-King that are garbage in this particular game. Now, obviously here, Party Tricks, the idea is you want to try and get deuce 3, 4, 5, 7, which is the wheel or nut low or number 1, as some people like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic here just checking back his option, the big blind with the King, Queen, Jack 10 deuce.
Yeah, so he's in a little hurt here, but he's got a pat Queen facing a draw 2. I think he might just pat this. Let's see what he does. This will be interesting. Look at this. See, it's a pretty bad hand, but against a draw 2, it's kind of it might be even a slight favourite. Now, the fact that Sonic didn't elect to raise pre and stood pat does weaken his hand a little bit. He might have some traps, not sure. These guys haven't played this spot before, so let's see what happens.
Look at this advanced strategy from Sonic. Kind of like how he's tricked this one up. No pun intended on your nickname there, but
I think Jazz has missed and he's just going to give up. So Sonic's just going to take that with a pat king.
Look at Jazz. Looks over at Sonic as if to say, what the hell? As it looks like Jazz is paired up and...
What else can I do apart from fucking pat this?
Sonic, what can I do?
Yeah.
What can I? You got King, Queen, Jack 10 in deuce to 7. He thought I'll just stick here. It's not going to get much better.
There you go.
Can I do like that when I went to check?
Anyway, we get back to the action here. We are seeing the conclusion of the 10-game mixed main event. This is day 2. The players came back today at midday. As you can see, Liam Juhu miles out in front at the moment with the chip lead.
Mate, he's only just picked up the mixed games recently as well. So you can see it's not that hard. And most of these games in the mix are limit games.
Yep.
So the decisions are fairly simple. They're not too hard to learn. Give it a try. In fact, you can come down right now and play the dealer's choice.
Yeah, good shout there. I believe the blinds in the top left-hand corner of the screen are incorrect, so please do not pay any attention to that. It is not 60K, 90K with a 30K
It's actually
big blind ante.
Yeah, it'll be the other way around, Monkey. It's a 30K small blind, 60K big blind, and a 90K ante. So quite a big ante. There's only 2 streets of betting in this game. That's why we have a bigger ante. The Prince puts together these structures and he thinks about all these things. Looks like we've got an open from Jazz on the button. Sonic's folded and Liam hasn't got much of a hand here either. You don't really want to be drawing 3 if you can help it, but sometimes you might have to.
I like drawing 3 Party Tricks, as you know.
I've seen the way you peel cards, Monkey. Maybe drawing 3 is optimal.
No doubts about it. I'm one of those guys who likes to squeeze up cards. So if I've got a 3, 4, 5 or whatever draw, I will be taking maximum cards, not caring too much about equities. I just like squeezing up cards. And then when I make a hand and lose, I complain, as most people like, or whinge. But I'm just there for a bit of fun, as you know, Party Tricks. I'm not a full-blown player, never really have been. Just enjoy playing some cards with the boys and the girls out there in the field and showing a bit of banter and having a bit of a laugh.
And this series that Prince has put together, Sonic has actually come down from Sydney to play in this series.
Geez, you can't make that up. And where's he staying at the moment, Sonic?
Well, he's staying in the boys' bedroom, Monkey. He's staying with me.
Oh, right, there you go. Right, okay. How's that for a lead straight into that? I did not know that. So Sonic's staying with the big man Party Tricks in the boys' bedroom.
He's got a chauffeur driver. He's got a... I'm making him bacon and eggs, making sure he's well fed in the morning.
Great call, as we've now changed over the game to Badoogie.
I told him if he wins the event, Monkey, I'm getting him a haircut.
Yeah, great shout there. I think he's due for one, to be fair. I'll probably cut off that ponytail. I did have a ponytail for a while, but not sure how well that we'll go with him, as I think it is a little bit of a signature look for Sonic there. We are playing now Badoogie, also known to my friends at a home game called Balkdoogie.
Oh, yes, I heard about
Is
this.
when you draw 3, trying to make a Badoogie, and you whiff it 3 times in a row, you just feel like throwing the cards or yourself off a balcony for that matter, because it is a very frustrating game when you're drawing 3 pulls at it and don't get it done.
It's also frustrating when you get dealt a very strong Badoogie or make a very strong Badoogie and get beaten. It can be very frustrating. It is hard to make a Badoogie. I think a 7 Badoogie is quite a strong hand, and anything better than that is very, very strong.
Liam Murray coming in clutch in the chat there on Facebook Live. Shout outs to the big man, Liam Murray. I do follow you on the socials.
So you can see Liam getting after it on the button here.
It's going to raise it up and make it 240k to go. As you can see, the limits have now been adjusted top left-hand corner, 120k, 240k. This is hand number 59 of this final table here. Party tricks.
You do have to get involved a bit here. Sonic's going to take 2 to the ace-4. Let's see what Liam does. He does have the jack working for him. Typically, you want to be drawing smooth. However, being 3-handed, it is a different dynamic. Sonic doesn't know if Liam draws 1 that his hand is as weak as it is.
No doubts about it. So some
It doesn't look like Sonic's
advanced
improved.
strategies here being played by Liam Juhu, just drawing the 1, obviously.
Yeah.
Sonic drawing the 2 to the ace smooth with the 4 in there. And I believe he's picked up a pair of queens on that first draw or second draw. I'm not sure which draw we are on. I think we might be on the first draw. Is that correct?
Yeah, they just draw him once. So
Yep.
they're on the second draw now. It's going to be a small bet. So if he does face a bet here, it's not a good position to be in, drawing 2 again versus a draw 1. And that's why Liam, even though he's drawing 1 to a kind of rough hand, he does have that advantage of position.
Sonic's going to,
Sonic's that short, it looks like he's just going to go with the hand.
no doubts about it.
I wonder if we have those queens correct.
Yeah,
Or he's just decided I have no choice but to go with this one.
probably. He's only got 90k left, it looks like. Maybe a fraction more, given the chips that you can see
He is
in play there.
He is going on a draw 2 again.
So Liam's going to stand pat with a,
Wow,
and he
Liam-
makes it too,
wow,
just
Liam's
quietly.
made a jack.
He's made a Jack Badoogie, which is miles out in the lead at the moment as Sonic decides to draw 2 on the second draw.
Let's hope that he improves a little bit so he has a decent chance. You don't want to be drawing 2 against a pat hand when you're all in at risk.
Right.
Okay, he has improved. So the players will probably open their hands now.
He has ace 4-8 is what he has. So
See what he
he
has to beat.
needs to find a diamond here. A diamond less than a jack to take this one away. So let's see if he can peel out a diamond as he squeezes and bends the card. Hopefully not too hard because it will damage the cards. These are very expensive cards, just quietly.
Doesn't look like body language. Okay, GG Sonic.
So GG's in the chat there for Sonic, who comes third in this event. He's the gentleman pushing the chairs in, I should say, or the chair in, and giving the fist pumps as... Now we have a heads-up battle here between Liam Juhu and Jared Bullock, also known as Jazz.
That's a great run by Sonic too, though. He came in as chip leader today, so he's going to be a little bit disappointed with that, but he shouldn't be. He's played well. He's flown in from Sydney to play, and, you know, he should be very happy with the result. Sometimes the cards go against you, you know. He might have hit a diamond there and he's still in the tournament. Unfortunately, he's missed, so we are heads up.
That's it. We are heads up. So for third place there for Sonic the Hedgehog, also known as Brendan, picking up $7,190 for his efforts, which is pretty damn good there, Party Tricks, yeah?
I'll be happy with that, mate. But now we've got Liam versus Jazz, Autobot Jazz, who's been playing mixed games his whole life. And Liam's just picked him up. Mate, Liam's only just picked up poker a few years ago. He seems like a vet. He's been on the podcast with who was he on the podcast with? Craig Abernathy.
Craig
Shout out to
Abernathy,
Craig.
yeah.
And,
Australian poker schedule. Yep.
Yeah, he hasn't been around the scene all that long, but he feels like he's been around forever because he's just been crushing since the moment he stepped onto the scene. So
Yeah, one of those guys with the halo above his head a little bit. I know he had a very successful 2025. I did speak to him quite a bit last year about how good he has been running, and he's told me he's up piles, as he likes to call it. So Shout out to Liam Jehu, who's obviously gone on a bit of a heater and loves to do what he does best, and now he's mixing it up in the mix game stuff here. That's Shannon Vanderberg, the big guy, who's putting on the show for you there, wearing the fedora and the bow tie with the suspenders on. It's a trademark look of Shannon Vanderberg, the Mix Game Academy. If you're not liked and subscribed to his Facebook, I would strongly suggest you do that to keep yourself abreast of all the Mix Game stuff that he puts on around the country.
Also, go to his website, Mix Games Academy. You just Google it and you can subscribe. You can put in your email address and subscribe. You'll get his emails. You know what's coming up. And I recommend it. Like, he's a good follow as well because his write-ups are like like none other. You watch the write-ups when he rewards the winner here.
So, Jarrett Bullock versus Liam Heads Up for the trophy. And I believe the trophy, Party Tricks, is a UFC/WWE type belt.
A championship belt for the trophy.
The championship belt, and it's an absolute corker just quietly. Maybe the guys down in the studio could bring that belt out, maybe put it on the opposite side of the table for us so you can see at home what they're playing for.
100% Monkey.
That would look Mickey Mouse there on that.
The Prince just likes to do things. He just takes things to the next level, doesn't he, the Prince?
He does. Again, getting 17 runners into a 10K event down here at Play Live that concluded a few days ago. So big shout outs to the big man, the Prince of Poker himself, Shannon Vanderberg. It's an absolute crusher in the poker scene. He's done a lot for the mixed game stuff for those people who like to play more than 2 cards. Might be a very short delay coming up in the next 5 hands or so, as we are dealing with a couple of issues downstairs. Nonetheless, we're going to see if we can bring out the trophy, which is that WWE/UFC type belt that Shannon has put together for the winner of this particular event. Be pretty sick if you use that as a card protector if you're out there playing a couple of the games in the afternoon. Put a whole belt down here to cover your cards.
That'd be all right.
Oh, that's too funny.
Shout out to the dealers here at MGA too. Some of the best of the best. They know all the games. It's not hard. I mean, sorry, it's not easy when you're dealing 10 different variants, which is what these dealers are expected to do. And shout out to Aya. She's pitching these RFID cards. They're a bit sticky. They're a bit harder to work with than what you used to. So,
bit thicker. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. So it looks like we have now moved over to Limit Hold'em, which is the next game in the variant, in the list, I should say. Now, for those people who are trying to figure out what to do Saturday night, tell you what you can do. You can come down here to Play Live at 129 York Street, South Melbourne. The Dealer's Choice started an hour and 24 minutes ago local time. Not to mention you were talking about the dealers dealing out 10 games. Well, how about 25 plus for the Dealer's Choice games? There's 25 plus games, so 25 or more games available for you to choose from in the Dealer's Choice that started today at 2 p.m. It's a $500 buy-in, 20-minute levels. That started today at 2, like I said. I believe late registration finishes probably in the next couple of hours. I'll get that information for you and bring it to you. And then at 7 o'clock for the absolute DGens of DGens, the event that I love the most, the Drawmaha rotation. You heard that correctly. It starts at 7 o'clock. We'll get to the Drawmaha rotation after we call the hand here as Jazz picks up ace-9 off on the button, decides to raise it, and Liam Jew, who's going to put the 8-2 into the bin. So the Drawmaha rotation is a 7 o'clock start tonight, $500 buy-in, 20-minute levels. Now, for those people who have never played Drawmaha before, Party Tricks, this might be the one for you to give them a little bit of an introduction as to how a Drawmaha works and maybe the deuce to 7 portion of that split next too.
Yeah, I can do that quickly for you, Monkey. So Drawmaha is a split pot game. Half the pot goes to the Omaha hand and half the pot goes to your draw hand, which is your 5-card hand. After the flop, there is one draw where you can typically draw a maximum of 3 cards. So you're trying to make 2 hands. One is an Omaha hand and one is your draw hand. Now, when we talk about the other variant, the deuce to 7 Drawmaha variant, it just means we're trying to make a deuce to 7 hand in our hand and an Omaha high hand on the board, which is a little bit, how do you say, a little bit juxtaposed, you know?
Yeah, no doubts about it. You're trying to make the low in your hand in the physical 5 cards that you're holding and try and make a high hand on the board. So bit of sort of back to front sort of irony there as you're trying to make a low in your hand and a high out on the board.
I guess typically you want to make a straight on the board and a low in your hand to try and scoop the pot.
No doubts about it. Very hard to scoop actually in deuce to 7 draw Maha. You need to get a very specific flop or at least community cards on the board for you to be able to make a scooper. I don't think I've ever had one before, but to be fair, I don't go deep enough in tournaments to be able to get a scooper. But I have made a nuts in the hand before, and that usually is good enough to be able to bet my opponent off whatever they have on the board, which is also part of the strategy of draw Maha. As we get back to the action here,
Jazz has picked up a double suited hand on the button.
we are now on to pot limit Omaha.
And he's let it go, is he? Okay.
He's just going to fold the king 8 for 2 double suited. Liam Juhu with the ace queen 10-3. Badoogie. Now, out of all of these games that you can choose from, Party Tricks, what is your favourite?
I love them all, Monkey. I love the mixed games.
Yeah.
I've been helping Shannon, the Prince, promote these mixed games for a long time. I think people need to get in there and give it a shot. They're not hard to learn, and they're much, much more fun.
Yeah, no doubts about it.
So
One of those guys that's like a genie. If you get 3 wishes, you're wishing for 3 more wishes, huh? You like them all, yeah?
man, I love me a bit of stud high-low. I love some Omaha high-low. I love a bit of Badoogie. I love drawing and peeling cards. I love all the games, and I especially love when we jump in and play a 10-game rotation. Every orbit, we change the game. It's great fun. Love myself some Melbourne Hold'em as well. Bit of PLO.
Why not? Huh? You like them all. The pick of the yard, you like them all. All 25 plus, yeah?
I think PLO is quite a hard game, so
As it's just a raise and a fold.
didn't get their cards there, unfortunately. But it's going to be a lot of that, guys. We're heads up. There's a lot of raise and take it. Jazz is quite short. You can see he's a 4-1 dog here. Liam had all the chips when he got to this heads up, so Jazz is looking for. He doesn't want to commit too many chips with hands that he's not prepared to go with. So.
As CK comes into the chat on YouTube, as I smirk and smile a little bit at that comment in the background, it looks like Sonic waited a whole 30 seconds before jumping into the dealer's choice. He's obviously busted out of this particular event, gone straight to the registration desk here, which is a bit of
this. Jazz has got 1 to a royal, Monkey.
1 to a royal. Yeah, sure. Why not?
How's that work in PLO as a good hand? Or he still has 4 high cards connected, and he does block his own flush draw. But yeah, Ace King Queen Jack, Monkey, 4 to a royal.
Well, I tell you what, if
I think it's raise and take it.
it's going to raise and obviously take that one down. Brad Goodman actually had 5 to the royal, made the royal flush at Crown Casino on, I believe it was Boxing Day in the Ultimate Hold'em.
Not bad, Monkey.
And took
What'd that
that-
pay?
And plenty. I don't want to
Plenty.
say. I don't want to say
Big
too
number.
much, but we're talking in the 7 figures there. Not much for you, Party Tricks, but for the majority of us battlers, that was a big payout for him. I think he might have had it up on his Facebook page, carrying a lot of chips, I should say, to the cage.
Congratulations, Brad Goodman.
Yeah, so took down the monster payout there at Crown Casino, I believe, on Boxing Day.
If you guys have been in and around poker, you probably knew his old man, who was TD on the circuit.
Yep.
Gentleman. Met him once. He final tabled. He teed at a final table that I made, and he never forgot me. So just absolute gentleman.
Good shout there from you, Party Tricks, as we have now moved over to one of my favourite games, deuce to 7 triple draw.
Liam's got a good hand here on the button. 3, 6, 7, 7 Jack. Now on a full ring, you want to be careful with these hands. You really want to start with a deuce in your hand, but heads up, the gloves are off.
Yeah.
You got to get in there, Monkey.
Well said, I agree. As Jazz looks like he's coming along here, if not putting in a race, but we'll find that out in half a second.
Liam's got a draw 2 and an important blocker. He's throwing the 7 away, which Jazz is probably going to want. Let's see. Haven't got Jazz's hand yet.
For those people who are just logging in, you are watching the 10-game conclusion of the main event here for MGA.
Have a look at this. These hands are just going to collide because Jazz has got a 2 draw as well, also with a blocker.
Sure, fair enough. And for those people who are watching, the blue chips are worth 5K, the orange are worth 25K, and now
Oh my goodness.
recently introduced, just quietly, we'll get to that in a second, the green chips are now 100K as Liam Juhu absolutely spikes a 76.
This is number 2, guys. This is the second best hand you can make. 7, 6, 4, 3, 2.
Yep, number 2, and he is ecstatic picking up number 2, almost can't ever be beat. Obviously, with Jazz's hand, he can't
He's actually,
improve.
He's got a
on his
lock
85.
on this hand. He's got an absolute lock on this hand, as you usually would.
What a peel there, just quietly. Yeah, 76, smooth. Number 2, as Party Tricks has alluded to, basically got this one locked up as Jazz would be drawing to an 85, which is obviously no good against the 76. So Jazz going to...
Can't fault him for drawing here, Monkey, though.
No,
So,
agreed. But can he get away from it here, Jazz? And
wow,
he
it's
does.
a great fold. Look at this.
Yeah, he does lay that
Just lets
down.
it go.
As I believe that he's shown... Liam Jehu showed him the 76 too, so Jazz was drawing absolutely dead.
Look at this. He's going to be very pleased when he sees Liam had him drawing stone dead.
As Ali Mustafa comes in on the chat on Facebook Live. As you can see, Liam Jehu with a commanding chip lead here against Jazz, but Jazz is a short stack specialist and does know how to play all of these mixed game variants to an elite level up there with you, Party Tricks, and a good friend of yours.
Yes, mate. We play a weekly game once a week. And,
The old man's game,
we do,
as we call it.
Typically called the old man's game with the Aussie Millions champion, Mr. David Gore. And sometimes we play with you, Monkey, when we get a chance.
I wouldn't exactly call it play with me. I throw some cards in there and lose the majority of the hands that I compete with. But I do enjoy being around the boys, throwing some cards around and losing 1,000 here or there in some of those games. As we get back to the action here, as Liam Jehu picks up
look at
8-8-7-3-2, heads up.
Jazz has come in for a raise on the button as well, Monkey.
So off to the races we go. Now, Jazz's hand hasn't quite showed up yet. Hopefully he can put those cards over the reader so we know what we're working with.
Liam's got a huge hand again.
Yeah, he's going to be drawing to an 87. He's going to take 1, obviously. Picks up a 10.
Wow, that's interesting.
So Liam picking up a 10-8.
Let's see what Jazz does.
Jazz, I reckon, is going to take 1 as well. And he does, pardon me.
Draw 2.
Draw 2, sure. So assuming, of course, Jazz has 3 cards to a wheel, most likely in his hand, like a deuce 4, 7, or some sort of combination of that. 2, 3, 4, maybe.
Let's see what Liam does here with this 10-8.
To be able to raise that pre-flop, obviously he has to have 3 working wheel cards, I'd imagine. Jazz, he's a seasoned pro in this particular game, so
Well, not necessarily, Monkey, because they are heads up, as I said.
fair enough.
You might have to play. You got to play more D2s. Liam's just going to check, so it looks like he's going to just continue drawing, unless he was going for a check raise. He could pat the 10. He might just want to continue drawing. He does have a smooth draw. What that means is he's not drawing to a straight. He can hit a 4, a 5, a 6, or a 9, which would make a better hand.
Well said there from Party Tricks in the commentary box alongside me, Josh Monk.
He could have led as well, put some pressure on Jazz being the short stack, given that Liam drew 1 and Jazz drew 2. This game, you do want to keep it kind of simple. If you're drawing less than your opponent, you can typically bet. And given Liam's chip position at the table,
So it looks like we're going to get Jazz to be able to peel those cards up on the button. On the RFID button reader on the table. So we might be able to see Jazz's hand shortly and see what he's up against here as Liam Jehu stands pat. There it is. So Jazz shooting for a 98. He's going to pitch the queen, I believe.
yeah, Liam's checked and then stood pat. Maybe he was going to go for a check raise. So his hand actually looks very strong. You don't want to check and stand pat and look weak, but from Jazz's perspective, maybe Liam was going to check raise him.
This would be brutal if Jazz picks up a 10 here just quietly. I believe he might have pitched the queen, so we might be slightly behind here. I believe he's probably pitched the queen and shooting for a 98-7 low, which would win if he can find a deuce 3, 5, or a 6 for that matter. As he looks up to the sky,
He's thinking, what should I do here?
what should he do?
He's just going to let it go. I think that's a good fold.
I
You don't want to draw dead in this game, Monkey.
Yeah, I draw dead quite a lot, but yeah, I tend to agree with you. You want to be live. And so obviously Liam Jehu takes that one away from Jazz with his 10-8-7. Smooth. Deuce 3. We are playing at the moment deuce to 7 triple draw, one of the best games of all time. If you like squeezing up cards Baccarat style, this is the game for you down here at the Play Live Melbourne headquarters at 129 York Street in South Melbourne. I'm Josh Monk, a.k.a. Monkey, in the booth with the one and only Party Tricks. Eugene sitting in for the big man who just left me a few moments ago downstairs in Matty Gin, also known as Matty Gin and Tonic, G&T, or MG, who's down there playing the 25-game dealer's choice. As
Jazz gets a walk. Beautiful.
Jazz gets a walk. Jazz
Oh,
gets a
when you're
walk.
sitting on the short stack, Monkey, it's a good feeling, you know.
No doubts about it. I'm always on the short stack, so I love a walk. And for those people who are interested to see what's coming up tonight, like I said, the Omaha rotation, which Party Tricks was alluding to and spoke about no more than 15 minutes ago.
$500 gets you in.
$500, 20-minute levels, 7 o'clock start.
Guaranteed to have a bit of fun in that one.
Now, Party Tricks tomorrow, yeah? The big game.
What's on tomorrow, Monkey?
The players,
The 3K.
yeah,
It's a
the
9
3K.
It's a 9-game mix.
The Poker Players Championship there. It's a one-day event, just so everybody knows, a one-day event starting at 11 o'clock in the morning, 3K buy-in, 30-minute levels. I mean, that's got your name written all over it, doesn't it, Party Tricks?
I think you might see me in the mix.
Good man, I like
I
that.
think you'll see me in the mix. It's the same as this, except we don't have Badoogie. So it's a 9-game mix. This one's got the 10th game being Badoogie.
There's a small delay here, as you can see, with the cards not being dealt at the moment. So we're just filling the time in, talking about what's coming up tomorrow, Sunday the 8th of Feb. We'll get back to Poker Players Championship, the big game information shortly as we get back to the action here in Heads Up.
Position's just as important in this game as it is in other games. If Jazz is going to have to play a hand all in, it would be nice if he has position.
So as you can see, Liam Jehu with a huge chip stack could polish Jazz off shortly, unless Jazz can
Looks like a game
pick up
change.
some hands.
Game change, Monkey. Omaha high-low.
Right, well, one of my favourite games, so we have gone over to the Omaha high-low portion.
Looks like Jazz is giving him a walk. It's a good game if you're a short stack, being that it's a split pot game. Sometimes if you miss out, well, if you have a two-way hand, you might miss the high, but you back out a low. So
Yep. Great shouts there. So the big game for the Poker Players Championship that starts tomorrow at 11 a.m., 3K buy-in, is the exact same rotation of games as this one on the screen, with the exception of Badoogie not being included. So it's a 9-game mix tomorrow, starting at 11 o'clock in the morning, 3K buy-in, 30-minute levels. And that's for the Poker Players Championship. That's a one-day event, so if you've got Sunday off and you want to come in and play some mixed game stuff, there's a 3K game on for you, the Poker Players Championship, the big game, brought to you by Shannon Vandenberg and the Mixed Game Academy blokes, as Shannon comes in the screen on the left-hand side there, as you can see, wearing the fedora, bow tie and the suspenders, his trademark look. And then at 6 p.m, just quietly, Party Tricks.
what's on, Monkey?
Mate, we're talking about the Hitman.
The Hitman.
The Brett the Hitman, the Heart, yeah? 6 p.m. tomorrow, $750 buy-in. There comes the belt. Have a look at the belt there. Talk
Wow,
about the
look
belt
at
there for a
this.
little bit, Party Tricks, if you don't mind.
Is that what we're playing for? That's the look at this, the trophy and the championship belt. Where are you going to see that in No Limit Hold'em? It's only in the Mixed Games Academy they're presenting this sort of stuff. One of these players is going to lift that belt today. They're going to be the Mixed Game champion of 10 variants of poker.
You have to admit, that is a very sexy-looking championship belt there.
And just while I think about it, this 3K 9-game mix, Monkey, I believe it's pretty much based on the 50K Poker Players Championship at the World Series of Poker.
That is correct. Yes,
the
correct.
structure is basically a mirror
Identical.
copy.
Yeah, it's identical.
Just with faster blind levels.
And not with a 50K buy-in.
And
Just
not with
quite
a slightly smaller buy-in.
down to 3K Aussie, not 50K USD. So discounts if you want to play the 50K championship in the WSOP, you can play it here at Play Live 129 York Street, South Melbourne, for 3,000 Aussie dollars. So you can get in a lot cheaper and play the same sort of format with the exact same structure as Eugene alluded to just then, as we get back to the action here.
Looks like Liam's limped the button with the King 10 9 8. You can see he won't be able to make a low because he hasn't got 2 cards below an 8.
Good shout there.
Jazz has got 3 4, so he's got the 3 4 working for the low. However, his 3 has been counterfeit on the board, meaning he's paired his 3. So at the moment, he hasn't picked up a low draw.
Believe it or not, he is out in front at the moment with a pair of 3s, as Liam Jehu has picked up a gut shot to the straight. He's got to just bet it. I'd imagine Jazz is going to put this straight in the bin.
He does have that King of Diamonds working for him as well, which he can use.
Good call. Jazz is going to lay that one down. Jazz gets even shorter. So we might see a conclusion to this relatively shortly. Liam Jehu obviously miles out in front. 4.3. He's got like 95% of the chips in play. Jazz working on the short stack, but like we've said before, Jazz is a seasoned professional, an elite poker master and mind at all of these mixed games. He's the gentleman there wearing the black cap. That's Liam Juhu there. Just going to take a short little delay here. We're not going to pause on the stream. It does give us an opportunity to talk about tomorrow's Hitman event there, Party Tricks.
So is it a bounty event, Monkey?
Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't think it is. I think it just says the Hitman. It might be a bounty. I'd need to double check with Shannon downstairs, but the information that I've got at hand is tomorrow, Sunday, the Feb 8th at 6 p.m. The Hitman. It's no limit deuce to 7 single draw, no limit hold'em, pot limit Omaha high, pot limit deuce to 7 double draw. Eat your heart out, the
That's
double draw
interesting.
drawers, yeah, the double draw players. Pot limit Omaha high low, big O, 5-card draw. Okay, the
That's an
Wild
old
Wild
school
West game.
shout-out,
Yeah, it's an
yeah.
old school shout out. 5-card draw from the Wild Wild West. And of course, the one and only Drawmaha. That's a $750 buy in 20-minute levels. That's starting tomorrow, Sunday, the 8th of Feb at 6 p.m. If you've got nothing to do, Sunday night, come down here to Play Live at 129 York Street, and Shannon will get you registered into that event.
So it sounds like the Hitman bounty, sorry, not bounty, but the Hitman sounds like a big bet mix.
Yes.
They're all no limit or pot limit games by the sounds of things, not limit like we're seeing some of these games today.
Yep.
So if you like putting the pressure on your opponents, that's the one for you.
If you like shooting off a lot of bullets too, that also is the game to do it in,
If you like bluffing.
as it is a game where you can play for stacks almost every single hand. So if you guys like the big bet stuff,
How about this, Monkey? I was playing the tournament yesterday as well, day one of this event. And,
Yep.
And both Jazz and I were short, sitting on opposite tables. We got down to 40K each. I said, Jazz, how about a $10 last longer bet? Actually, no, I said, how about a last longer bet? He said, what are you on a bet? I said, how about a coffee or a chocolate bar or an ice cream? He upped the stakes, made it $10.
there you go.
I spun my stack from 40K right up to 200. A couple hands later, Monkey, I was flying. I was already thinking what I'm going to spend my $10 on.
You think about the Taj and where the sand turns to gold, going out of Vegas rounder styles, yeah?
That's when I made my 6 high, my 6 low in deuce to 7 single draw and decided to bluff all my chips off. Guy took half a second to snap me with a 9 low, and I
That's
was
all
on
she wrote.
crumbs. I look back at Jazz. Jazz got 100K in front of him, and here he is now. So actually putting that $10 to work.
As you can see at the bottom there, the payouts first gets $16,775. Second place finisher gets $10,540. So good day's work, you know.
This
A
is
couple of days' work, I should say.
Jazz will be wrapped that he's going to wrap this up soon.
And look at that, who's in the background there, Party Tricks. That looks like
Who's that?
the
Lukey
Lego
Dookie?
man himself. That's Lukey Dookie,
It is.
Lucas Durante
Shout out
coming
to-
in.
Shout out to him, man. This guy, he came in, he's won the first event, he's gone second in the second event, and first again in the third event. Absolutely
Steamrolling
dominating
the field.
series.
Yeah, good call. So he's most likely going to be jumping into that 25-game mix that we were talking about that kicked off today at 2 p.m. The dealer's choice. It's a 25-game plus. So there's a ton of different variations of poker you can choose from as in that dealer's choice. It's a $500 buy in 20-minute levels. Might be able to get some information about that whilst we are pausing here for a second about when late registration for that finishes. So just bear with me. Party Tricks, if you don't mind.
But the Mixed Game Academy, I'll let you guys know, Shannon Vanderberg is running the Cock of the Walk. It is back for this series. What is the Cock of the Walk? It is the player of the series, but the Prince does it differently here. The Cock of the Walk. There is a trophy for that. And at the moment, Lucas Durante way out in front.
All right, got all the points, yeah?
However, whoever wins this is going to be in contention. There's still a couple of events to go, so it's not a lock.
There we go. As we get back to the action here, heads up, we are playing for the coveted belt. You can see it on the screen there just behind the dealer's head and a small MGA trophy, but the belt, obviously, the one that you want to take down. Jazz in a world of hurt in terms of chip stacks.
He's going to need a fighting hand, and this is not a great one. He does have 2 to a low.
This is Omaha high-low. For those people just logging in to see the conclusion, we are playing Omaha high-low
He's
as he
gonna
folds
let it
down the
go.
button.
Yeah, he had a suited queen. It's Liam's hand was much better, as you saw. Queen Jack 6-3 double suited. Jazz is going to have to find a hand here. He's going to have to go with something. How about ace anything monkey?
Yeah.
Ace.
Good.
Ace is very strong in this because it's a high and low. So at the moment, Jazz, being as short as he is looking for ace and 3 random cards, and he's ready to go.
No doubt. As Nick Mooney comes into the chat there on Facebook Live, thanks for joining us, Nick, saying, unsure who I'm going for, to be honest. Pardon me. 2 of my good friends battling heads up. Good luck to both of them. Obviously, Jazz in a world of hurt at the moment, but
Here's the one, see? He's got the ace, king, queen, 6 with a nut suit and an ace 6 low draw. Very good. Liam also has 4, 5, 8, 9. He's got a low draw working, which is actually slightly better than Jazz's.
but his club's not working for him. Obviously, you can see Jazz got the working ace, queen of clubs here, so Liam probably needs to fade a few clubs on the flop, but Liam has been sun running all week, and especially in this particular event, as you can see from his massive chip stack. So
The equities are very close, as you can see on the board there. Basically a coin flip.
obviously an all-in call. Their dealer calling for Shannon here because this could be the last hand of this event. So Shannon being called over. Here comes the flop down and dirty. Party Tricks, maybe you can call this one for the people at home.
Looks like Jazz's flop top pair.
Looks like
It's a good
Jazz has
flop for
flopped the
him.
nut straight, to be fair.
You're right, Monkey. He has.
Turn card comes the deuce. Here
Brings
comes
a
the
low
river.
drawing for Liam. Looks
The-
like we're going to have a chop pot.
We are going to chop that up as Jazz there flopping the absolute joint on the ace jack 10. Chop it up as you can hear Shannon in the background as Liam backdoors into that low that Party Tricks was talking about with that 5-4. The ace, I should say the 8-5-4 deuce ace. Backdooring straight into that low. So it's a chop it up buttercup as we get to the next hand of this heads up battle between a couple of good friends of Nick Mooney, Jazz, Jared Bullock, and Liam Juhu, the crusher of the 2025 tournament series that happened last year where he picked up piles, as he has told me before. So I don't want to give out any details, but plenty.
And my mate Jazz there, I'm not sure if you think he's superstitious or not, but he's wearing exactly the same clothes, and I mean exactly the same clothes as he wore yesterday. Undies and socks and all, Monkey.
I believe it for some reason.
He tells me he washed them, but, you know, here he is. Here he's got kings on the button. It's a Badoogie hand, not great for us. We want suits in this game, but being that short, he's on the button. Kings, Jack 5. We really want a low card with this, with the 5, you know, so we have a low draw as well, but beggars can't be choosers, Monkey. We're that short.
No doubts as he raises it here on the button. He had a quick look at the television screen to the left of him, finding out when the blinds are going to go up. It looks like Liam Juhu's going to come along with the King 10 8-7 and try and bust Jazz in this particular hand. As you can see, Jazz out with a lead at the moment with these kings in the hole with the Motown Jack 5 to go with it.
Yep, we just run it again. Liam's the only one with a live low draw. However, Jazz is going to be hoping for a high flop. So let's see what happens.
And as you can hear from the table chat, this is for the main event title. If Liam can bust Jazz here as the flop comes down, deuce 3 queen. So low draw working for Liam. Here comes
King's still ahead.
a diamond picked up draw for Liam Juhu, who can bust this with another diamond. And a diamond comes in, and that's it. That's all she wrote. The
over.
backdoor diamonds comes in. Liam Juhu makes an 87 low and backdoors into King 8 of diamonds to make a King High flush. And that's all she wrote here. Liam Juhu is your champion. Jazz going down with in flames there with his Kings, Jack 5, Badoogie. Claps all round, as you can see. Shannon Vandenberg right there in the chat. Sorry, not in the chat, on the stream, I should say, with the fedora, the bow tie, and the suspenders. Liam Juhu is your champion here. Handshakes all round. Jazz is going to pick up just over $10,000 for his second place finish. And obviously Liam Juhu picking up the big prize here, $16,775 for his efforts and taking this one down. Party Tricks, what did you think about that last hand?
Not much you can do there, Monkey. Jazz picked up the Kings. He went with it. He had a great turn card, giving Kings up. He could scoop. Just has to fade a diamond or a low draw for a low card for half. And the diamond came in for Liam. Not much he can do.
No, backdoor diamonds for Liam to make the King Eye flush and makes that low with the 87. And that is Liam Juhu taking out the main event, the 10-game mix. Like you said before, just recently joined into mixed game stuff. So shout outs to Liam Juhu, who takes this coveted trophy and also takes that unbelievable looking UFC, WWE type of belt there that Shannon had put together for the winner of this particular event, alongside a little small MGA trophy, as the chips are now going to get packed up for a photo of the champion, which is Liam Juhu. And that, for us here in the commentary booth, I'm Josh Monk, aka Monkey, alongside Party Tricks, who has joined me for the conclusion of this event. Party Tricks, has been a pleasure to have you in the booth.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we can do it again at some time.
I'd love to, Monkey. Thanks very much. And thank you for the Prince for running this event. Congratulations to both players. First and second out of 37 players in Melbourne at Play Live.
There you go. And a big shout out also to everybody who tuned in today to listen to the commentary and to watch the conclusion of this event. We very much appreciate all the support you've given us over the last few days and the last weeks during the Play Live Melbourne Millions series. That is all she wrote. That is live here on a 20-minute delay. The Play Live Melbourne Millions, that is the conclusion of the 10-game mix main event, brought to you by Mix Games Academy. Shannon Vanderberg on the screen right there. And that is all she wrote. Thank you very much for your time and your attention. All the best. Until next time, that is all she does.